These are algebra tiles, and we can use them to represent algebraic expressions and equations and to help us to solve some of these difficult things in math. Alright, so let me introduce you to three of the tiles that we have, starting with this big pink one. Notice what shape it is. It is a square, and we don't know the measurements of each side, so we call it x. So this is what x squared would look like. This side measures x, this measures x. The whole shape is a square. Great. Let's look at this one. This is 1x, or simply just x. Notice here measures 1 and here measures x. So when you put them together, you get this rectangle, 1x, or just x. And this is a regular one. No, like when you're counting 1, 2, 3, 1. So if I wanted 3 ones, or if I wanted 3, I could represent it as 3 ones like this. If I wanted 2, I could represent it as just 2 ones like that. If I wanted 3 x's, I could just group 3 of these blue rectangles together. So this now becomes, or this would represent 1, 2, 3, 3 x's. Great. We'll have this expression, x squared plus 4x plus 7. And I'm going to be using the algebra tiles to model these. So it's 1x squared. So I have the 1x squared, the square. And then it's 4x. So I'm going to need 4 x's. So this is 1, 2, 3. I need one more. Here we go. 4. So all these blues together represents these 4x. And I need 7 ones, which is just 7. Alright. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There we go. So this is what x squared plus 4x plus 7 would look like in algebra tiles. Now we're going to try to factorize this expression by completing the square. And as it suggests, it's a square that we're going to try to form using these different pieces. So watch me. Whoops. No, the one can't go nowhere. Good. So I'm going to do this. Notice, making sure that they're even, right? So I would have started as something that would look like a square, but I need to complete the square right here. Notice that some of it is missing, so I need to complete it. What do you think I'm going to have to do to complete it? Well, I'm going to have to take out of this section some ones to fill in the square, to complete the square. So I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm taking out 4 from this side and putting in those 4 right in here. So if I was going to complete the square, I need to determine what would be the measurements of the side. So remember, this would have been x, and this would have been 1, 2 x's, or just 2. Looking at the side, this is x, and this is 1 here and 1 here. So it becomes x plus 2. And if I look up here, so I'm going to get x here, and I'm going to have 1, 2. I'm just looking at the sides of the blocks now. So the side of this block is x, and the side of this blue block is 1, and the side of this blue block is 1. So putting the 1 and 1 together, I'm going to get 2. And because I'm putting them together, I'm going to add. So this side of the square is x plus 2, and this side of the square is also x plus 2. So if I'm going to complete the square, it's going to be, to factorize this, it's going to be x plus 2 and I'm making a square of that. And how much is the remainder? This would be the complete square. How much would be what's left? See here? 1, 2, 3. So I'll have plus 3 now instead of plus 7. And that's how I would complete this square. So basically, completing the square is about forming a literal square using the resources that you had. We had this 7. Here we had the 7 ones. And we had to take out 4 ones out of it to complete the whole square. Right? So let's look at another example. We're going to try this one. X squared plus 6x plus 4. So x squared is this. I need 6 x's. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Great. And then I'm going to also need 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great. So this is what x squared plus 6x plus 4 would look like in our algebra tabs. And the boss comes to us and say, okay, we need to create a square. Start creating a square. Like, what kind of job is the boss asking me to do? So we're just going to have to try and figure out how we're going to create a square out of all of this. It looks like a mess, but we're going to organize it into a square. So what we can do is to split this blue term. Listen carefully. Split this blue term into a half and put each half along the sides of this square block. So I can take 3 from here. Try to line them up nice, because I want the boss to be pleased with my work. So I'm going to put the other 3 x's down here. So, because if I had 6 x's and I split them in 2 or split it in half, I'm going to get 3 x's on each side. And if it's a square, I have to put it on each side, don't it? Good. So you see, I have the square. I split the b term or the x's into 2 by putting 3 on each side. Almost have the square. So I have x on this side and how many ones down here? So 3. So this side of the square, x plus 3 represents it. And on this side of the square, it's going to be x 1, 2, 3 plus 3. Good. So we have somewhere want to look like a square. So we need to just complete it now using what we have. So I'm going to have to take some stuff out of this yellow part and put them right in here, so to complete the square. So we're going to go, we're taking out, pay attention. So I'm going to just take out 1 from there, take out 1 from here, take out 1 and put it here, take out the last one and put it here. But guess what? We're going to end up short. So if we go to the boss and say, boss, it's a go short. But how much is it going to be short by? All right, let's check it. So this is going to be 1. Good. And the reason why I put in a negative is because it's short, right? We're going short 2 now. Short 3 now. Short 4. Short 5. So if we're going to complete the square that represents this thing, we need to go to the boss and say, boss, the square are going good enough, but we're kind of short 5 pieces. So how would we represent that? So what we would do, we'd go to the boss and go back to the original question and say, okay, if we're going to complete a square or make a square out of this, then the sides would be x plus 3. Remember, so we'll make a square of that. So we're going to put the square up here. And we are going to be short 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I'm going to suggest that it's short, I would use a negative sign and put the amount that it's short. So if we're going to really complete a square, given this type of resources, it would have been x plus 3 all squared minus 5. Simple. All you're doing is rearranging stuff to complete a square.